Okay, so like Liz said, my name is Poissonnier. I run a company called Katalyst here in Portland, Maine. And the last two I've just kind of hosted and had a good time leading some discussions back and forth. We came up with, I think Liz came up with this topic, and I kind of selfishly was like, oh, that'd be great for me. Because the most important relationship that I have, at least found for myself through the 7 years of doing my own business, has been the relationship I have with myself. Having honesty with yourself, realizing what you're capable of. So this is my journey in time. So this would be the suit I'm wearing in 2008. I'm walking into a sports management company somewhere on the outside of Philadelphia that they work with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Flyers, all the Philadelphia sports teams. And this is brilliant for me because I just graduated from Hudson University with a business marketing degree. And I used to play football, so like this is like, oh man, amazing. Backstory, my last year at Hudson, I started a clothing company as a senior project. And before I left for New Jersey, I threw an event in Portland, which no one came to. The DJ and my mom and my sister don't count. Pete was there too, actually. So I got to New Jersey, Philadelphia area, Cherry Hill. I'm walking into this place, I'm like, okay, this is great. I get to use my degree. I get to kind of still protect this idea that I own a clothing company. No one really had to know of that failure, you know what I mean? 8 hours later, to say the least, I left there even more uncomfortable and more disgusted because the sports marketing company was a scheme, to say the least. I had spent the entire day soliciting tickets door to door, and most of the times when I got denied at the door, the follow-up pitch would be, would you like a Valentine's Day massage for your loved one? I still remember those words like it was yesterday. So, nothing happened when I was in that area. Nothing happened with my brand for 2 years because I was so terrified of just being myself and presenting myself with my brand. Anytime I would do anything, I'd be in Lower Manhattan, Greenwich Village, at an event that no one even knew was mine, dressed like this. Selling shirts that had graffiti on them, shirts with foil, very Ed Hardy-ish type shirts, sorry to say. But it was a guy in a suit selling urban clothing. There was a disconnect there. So I moved back to Maine in 2010 in the summer. And I decided to throw one more event at a nightclub in Portland again, and I decided to really go for it this time. And I was still kind of conflicted with the person I was and the brand that I had, because there was times where I would make something and put it out, and I didn't really like it. I would sell clothing that I didn't really like. I wasn't happy about what I was doing, but I was so obsessed with this idea that I had to look like this if I owned a clothing company, right? So I went on TV for the first time in 2010, and it was 8 in the morning. I wore a suit, I panicked, and there on this table is all of these urban clothing items sitting in front of me. And there's that, and there's me in a suit. Didn't match up. The night before the event, the Bangor Daily News published an article on myself, pictured in the suit, doing this event. As some people from Maine know, the Bangor Daily News is not the best place to read comments. It can be very, very negative. What I saw in all of these comments, which were in the hundreds, were, wow, he doesn't look like a Mainer. I'm from Central Maine, a town of 900 people. These shirts are tacky. They're overpriced. Who would wear these? Who would support this guy? I think one person even said that I looked like a little boy who got lost after church and went outside to play, and I didn't know how to dress myself. Shirt untucked like this, tie worn down like this, like a boy, like I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, so in that, there's some truth, okay? I look like this. In that, there's some truth. The truth is that that's not who I was. I wanted to be known as this successful business, clothing company owner, business owner. I didn't even like the stuff I was selling. I didn't like me. So at that very point, I decided to make a change. So the event came and went, huge success. Pete was there. And the next day I started work on the Maine music hoodie. I grew up coming to Portland loving music. And I wanted to put out a hoodie that had all my favorite band signatures on the sleeve. 6 months prior, I was selling clothing with foil on it in Lower Manhattan. Very, very different. And I made a decision that at that moment, I was going to have a better relationship with myself. Because strangers were calling me out on how I dressed, how I looked, that what I was selling didn't match up with who I really was. So the difference was between 2008 and 2015, I started putting out items like the suicide prevention hoodie, because it's something that touches me, it's close to my heart. I started wearing clothes that described who exactly I was. And who that is a kid who's not successful. I'm not successful. I'm not selling clothing in a suit in Lower Manhattan. I'm a Mainer, and I put out stuff that relates to Maine and that touches my heart. If I go to a school, I'm dressed like this. If I go on television, I'm dressed like this. When I fail, I'm dressed like this. When I succeed, I'm dressed like this. So, bringing it back around. From 2008, 2015, my model and myself didn't match. My business model now, I have that hoodie at home. I wear it. I wear everything that I put out because I love it. Because I wanted to let everybody know who I was on the inside. For years, I was held back by what everybody else thought. So I addressed the idea of what I thought I needed to be, and the most important relationship that formed from all of this was the one that I had with myself. I'm not telling you to do what I just did, to strip down in front of a bunch of people. I'm not telling you to put out clothing like I put out. Only thing I'm telling you is embrace the idea that everything you do as yourself. Do it with passion. Because in the end, that is the most important relationship. Thank you very much.